Are you too old for voiceover? That is the question for this morning, and it's part of my Motivational Monday presentation today. Motivational Monday. You may say, well, that doesn't sound very motivational. Don't talk about my age on Motivational Monday, for goodness sake. This is supposed to be a time that we get pumped up, we get excited about the week, but there is exciting news, and we're going to talk about age as it relates to voiceover. But let me share a quote with you first. This comes from Mahatma Gandhi. This is so good. And I don't know about you, I need to hear this morning. Learn as if you will live forever. Live like you will die tomorrow. Learn as if you will live forever and live like you will die tomorrow. I remember back when I worked on I started on my master's degree. It was like in business back. It was 92 through 94. And at the time, I was in my 30s, and it seemed like I still had forever in front of me. And so, I didn't give it much of any thought. I later decided to work. I wanted to work on a doctorate in education because I was in the corporate learning space, and this was in 2005. And at that point in time, I had to think about it a little more. You start to think about, okay, well, how much runway do I have left in my life, and will this investment pay off? And so I started that. And by the way, and that's the time that the company I was working for went out of business, and I ended up dropping. I was going to Capella University. That's where I was working on my doctorate at the time. And so I dumped that, and I jumped over to voiceover because really I didn't have much of an option. But my point was at that point in life. So now I'm in my 40s, and I'm thinking, well, corporate America doesn't seem to get too excited about people who are over 40. And of course, now I'm over 20 years down the road and all of that. So now I have to I really have these serious conversations with myself, thinking, okay, well, how much time do you think you've got left, and is it really worth your while to invest? Here's the thing. Yes, it is. A couple of reasons. One thing is we're living longer than we've ever lived before. The other is there's more opportunities than there have ever been before. And we live in not only a different time, but the way we think about things. I remember growing up, being a child and seeing, like, the older adults and the friends of my parents, and as they couldn't wait to retire. And as soon as because, they were, most of them working jobs they hated. And so as soon as they retired, they were looking to kind of kick back and fish for the rest of their life or whatever. And I'm not criticizing that. I mean, if I had a job I hated all my life, that's probably the first thing that I would want to do. But you see them not live all that much longer afterwards because they're not, re-engaging in something that kind of stimulates and keeps them going. And so, kind of growing up in that atmosphere, I'm always asking myself, is it worth the time? Is it the effort? But here's the thing. Learning keeps you young, for one thing. Investing yourself in learning keeps everything pliable, keeps everything working, keeps the neurons, those synapses, they continue to fire. And so not only is it good for you, here's the great news. You've got a lot to offer. Now, I'm saying this as somebody, who recently turned 65. So I'm a newly minted senior citizen. I'm at what I think call the young old. There's the young old, the middle old, and the old old. So I'm at the younger end of the spectrum, and I see nothing but opportunity ahead. Now, there's a lot of people a lot older than me that are involved in voiceover, and I'm going. My friend Rob Reider, who's teaching class tomorrow night. Rob, I hope you don't mind me. I'm not using an example of an old person, because by no means are you. But I want to share Rob's story. And again, Rob, I apologize. If you don't want me to do this, just jump in the stream and tell me to stop. But Rob, at 70 years of age, decided, he's been working as a live announcer for the past over 4 decades, doing air shows, and wanted to become more involved in recording voiceovers like commercials. And long story short, at age 70, he jumped in, and here 4 or 5 years later, he's doing his audiobook business has really expanded. It is really growing. And my point is, so at 75, he's still on a growth trajectory, and he doesn't have to leave air announcing. He is a hot commodity in that industry. People love him, and he stays booked doing that kind of work. But he also wants to do the in studio voiceover over work as well. So And Rob tells me stories of, narrators he's aware of that are in their 80s who are very successful doing audiobooks. Here, my goal is to be a centenarian and recording voiceovers. So resist the urge to think I'm too old to learn. I'm too old to grow. I'm so old that nobody is interested in me. And people are popping in with their age. We've got 78. Sandra says I'm 78. Cliff is 71. Jim is 72. So I don't care if you're 21 or if you're 101. There is opportunity in voiceover. And I think voiceover gives us a fantastic opportunity to stay engaged. And I think it's important because I think when people unplug, when I say disengage, I don't mean that, you shouldn't be fishing or playing golf or whatever you like to do. But if there's nothing where you're expanding, where you're having to think and you're having to challenge yourself, I think what happens is instead of expanding, we begin to contract. And contracting is a natural part of, there's life and then there's death, and there's nothing we can do to avoid that. But what we can do is we can make the years that we're here, we can expand those years and we can make them more productive, and we can make them more enjoyable for ourselves and our families and for the people around us by engaging. And voiceover is a great, great, great way to do that. Rob, he says, okay, he's 76. So Rob, see, I've got you pegged as younger than that, because you certainly seem younger than that to me. And it's because he's engaged. He's expanding, he's challenging himself, he's doing things. I just want to encourage you on this Motivational Monday. I don't care if you're 20, like I said, or you're 21 or you're 101. Be engaged, learn, stretch yourself. Learn as if you will live forever, as Mahatma Gandhi said, and live like you will die tomorrow. Now, speaking of Rob, and what an amazing, and well, he's a very talented voiceover narrator, and he's a mentor and a coach within my voiceover blueprint training program. We've got a core group of trainers slash mentors, and he is one of those. He's an expert in audio tech as well, and he's been announcing air shows, as I mentioned, 40 plus years. Prior to that, he was a successful TV personality. And tomorrow night, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, he will be teaching a virtual class, seats still available, on how you can add live announcing as an income stream, as a spoke in your marketing wheel for your voiceover business. Rob has been doing this for a long time at the highest level. So in terms of the skill set that is required to do live announcing, because it's a bit different than what you do when you're in your studio, the opportunities are out there and how to find those. These are the kind of things that Rob's going to talk about. He's also going to supply you with some bonus videos and show you what it's like behind the scenes in terms of prepping for an event and what it's like to be at an event and work. That is all happening tomorrow night. There's a link below in the description. We want to see you there. And again, I don't care what age you are. There's lots of great opportunities in this area. So if you're looking to add an income stream, this is something you need to check out. And it's tomorrow night, so you don't have a lot of time to get registered. Link is below in this description. I hope you'll do that. And if you haven't yet, make sure you check in on the live chat. I'd love to do some shout outs here, just to like to acknowledge you. I appreciate you being here. And so just let me know where you're watching or listening from this morning. Let's see. We've got Rusty was first in this morning from Michigan, and Rob Reider just behind him, our guest instructor for tomorrow night. Emma in Huntington Beach. Terry, how are you in Falston, Maryland? It's all about desire. Age is just a number. Ethan, and here's another. Just a little transparency. Tell you a little more, kind of what's going on with me. I don't know if hopefully I don't share it just because I feel the need to tell you everything I'm doing. But I hope that the things I share, I hope you find to be encouraging. And so, as I've talked about a number of times, I used to run a lot. I've run the Chicago Marathon a few times. The last time I ran it was in 1995. If you do the math, it's been, 30 years, almost 30 years ago. And so I try to get out and walk 7 miles. I have a 7 mile trail. I haven't been doing it every day this summer. I'm trying to do it as often as I can. My goal is to get back into running shape. And I'd love to run distance again. I'd love to run marathons again. I've heard of people doing marathons starting in their 80s doing it. And I just don't want to be one of those people that decides, okay, I'm just going to stop. Because I'll be honest, the older you get, the harder it is to push forward, because we tend to get stuck in our head, stuck in our way of thinking. and we want, and I get tired sometimes. I'll be honest with you. I get tired. I get mentally, emotionally, and physically tired. And I think, I just don't feel like pushing. But the older I get, the more I realize I need to push. I got to keep pushing physically, emotionally, mentally. Got to keep moving. We got to be sharks. We got to keep moving forward or we'll drown. Just like a shark. Got to keep moving forward. So anyhow, just a thought I thought I'd share with you. Ethan in Toronto, Aaron in Columbia, Missouri, John in Rhinebeck, New York, Jason, Kearney, Nebraska, Jim in Memphis, Theo, good to see you. Mary, Motivational Monday, mere meters. Okay, we've got some alliteration going on here. Theo says, Mary, Motivational Monday, mere meters from the Magnificent Mile in mostly muggy downtown Chicago. Theo, not only my main hype man, he is a wordsmith. Nephi in Knoxville, Tony, good afternoon. It's 2:30 on the south coast of Ireland. Tony, good to have you here. Thanks for checking in. Hey, Scotty, appreciate you being here in Brookings, South Dakota. Mikhail, how are you? In Bath, Maine. Maria in Texas. Wayne in Port Orchard, Washington. Jason in Denham Springs, Louisiana. Let's see here. Big Daddy, buen dia from Arizona. Mike in Oak Island, North Carolina. JR from a cloudy Austin, Texas. I hope I'm not too old, JR. I assure you, you are not. If you're able to type this message and be up for this video, pretty darn sure you can do voiceover. Kenneth, how are you doing? Good evening in Japan. Bruce, good morning to you in Port Richey, Florida. Sandra, 78 years old and proud to be on this morning from Worthington, Ohio. Good morning, Sandra. Paul, in Greenup, Kentucky. Sandra says, I'm checking in from Dallas, Fort Worth. Joy in Southfield, Michigan. Mark, happy Monday from Montreal. I love today's subject. I'm just starting VO and turning 60 in October. Mark, glad you could be here. Lemcheck, am I dead? Let me check. Am I dead? Nope. Too old for voiceover. Honestly, is rather listening to an older male or female voice than AI. I'd rather listen to an older male or female voice than AI. That's for darn sure. Cliff 71 checking in from Delaware. Jim 72 checking in. Hey, Jim. Tim, good morning. Soon to be 62. Rob, I'm proud to be 76. Still growing. Absolutely. Hey, Joy. I started my voice acting when I was 56 and had a total blast on my journey learning this business. Fantastic, Joy. I love this. I'm 45 and just starting. Joe Lee, have a wonderful week. Bill and everyone from Stormy, Minnesota, VoiceOver Blueprint member here. Hit the like button. Thank you, Joe Lee. Hey, Mike. Mike says, I just turned 70 and I'm getting work. There you go. Love it. Rita, I started last year at 70 from Tucson, Arizona. Rob says, oops, the stream moved on me. Rob says, at any age, we can grow in wisdom. That is the truth. That is the truth, Rob. Melissa, good morning from San Diego. Jason in Newport, Oregon. Jason, OMG, yes, get that marathon. Jason, I'm going to try, man. I'm going to try. Wally says, never stop learning or fall behind. Thank you, Bill. And by the way, I went to I tore my meniscus recently. No fun. Went to my orthopedist and he came in. He said, well, the good news, he said, your knees are in great shape. I've got like all my cartilage and surprisingly, my knees are in fantastic shape. And with a little cortisone shot, my knees are like brand new. So it's just a matter of mind over matter at this point. Edwin, hello to you in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tess in Tequila, Georgia. Keep moving. Absolutely. Alex, what's up in Utah? Theo says, here's your daily reminder to help me hype the channel. Hit that like button, y'all. Yeah, let's get those likes up. Thank you. Edwin says, be that shark that takes out the boat. Wayne says, make it to 68. Oh, made it to 68 last week. Congrats, Wayne. James is 66, still pick up sticks, just starting the journey. Hey, guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I am looking forward to seeing, and Rob's looking forward to seeing you tomorrow night. We will be on beginning at 8 o'clock. Now, again, maybe you're not ready to commit to the idea of doing live events, and that's fine. Perhaps this is a journey of discovery for you to learn more about it. And there's a lot of great information to learn. So I encourage you to be there. Grab a seat while it's still available. We get underway at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and there'll be a lot of content, not just tomorrow night, but in the bonus videos that Rob's created, so you can go behind the scenes and see how all of this live announcing kind of thing works. So click the link below in the description, get registered. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening, guys. Take care.